we are facing our worst nightmares come true and our most dire predictions after the 2016 election. We raised the alarm then. We cannot be alarmist enough now. What happens next will shape the future of abortion access in this country for decades to come.
That's how Texans are. We're just a different type of people, and we're just a different type of woman. I know that the work I do would not be possible without people like Minnie.
Together we make up the movement for reproductive freedom, and together we will meet this moment and fight whatever comes our way.
Honest, bold, and Texan. How Minnie Timmaraju inspires the next generation of abortion rights activists.
As a young Latin woman in the abortion access fight in the state of Texas, Minnie's story has resonated with me so deeply on both a cultural level and on this kind of state identity level.
Olivia Juliana is a reproductive rights activist and the director of politics and government affairs for the organization Gen Z for Change.
She faced a lot of racism and discrimination when she was growing up as an Indian American, especially when she moved here to Texas. She had to deal with slurs and hate speech. In the face of that adversity and those direct threats, she kept going, and she was unapologetic about what she believed in.
Minnie Timmaraju is a first-generation immigrant from India. Having been born the same year as the landmark Roe v. Wade case, she says the decision helped to inform her understanding of the country and the world. She believes fighting for reproductive freedom is one of her generation's greatest obligations. She also credits her sense of wanting to protect and uplift the disenfranchised to her upbringing as an immigrant who herself felt like an outsider. Timmaraju began her work in reproductive equity by working at a variety of Planned Parenthood affiliates in Texas. She would go on to work for the organization on a national level as well.
It is not easy to be an abortion rights activist, and it is not easy to be an abortion rights activist from Texas.
Timmaraju is now the president of NARAL Pro-Choice America, a nonprofit that advocates for safe and legal abortion access and has been at the forefront of condemning the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Every person in this country, no matter who they are, where they live, must have the freedom to make their own decisions. We will give this fight everything we have because we know that freedom is fundamental.
Minnie is just a brilliant political strategic mind. I think that she is very intelligent and has such a strong understanding of how government works on all levels.
We're going to work with the Senate to pass the Women's Health Protection Act in order to protect the right to abortion throughout the country. But more critical, fundamentally, we have to fight to pass legislation to protect our freedom to vote. We will fight for voting rights because we know that the fate of reproductive rights is connected to voting rights. We are tied together.
Voting and abortion access are linked. Abortion access is a part of democracy, and anyone who tells you that it's not, they're just not informed enough on the issue, or they're just wrong. For people like Minnie and other women who have been saying these things, who have been brutally honest, even when it's not the popular thing to hear, or who have been in the abortion access fight, even when it's not the highest polling issue, it's really inspiring and motivating to remember that these are issues and conversations that people in this fight have had before me, and it really does give me strength to keep going when it gets hard.
Juliana made headlines when she raised $2 million for abortion access after Republican lawmakers mocked her online.
I get attacked for my belief quite frequently, especially by prominent figures within the Republican Party. I've dealt with attacks from Matt Gaetz, from Attorney General Paxton, from Governor Glenn Youngkin. I've seen it all, heard it all. And honestly, I think the reason why I make it such a point to turn it into a positive is because of how I was raised. I'm an activist, I'm a Christian, and I'm a proud Texan who's not afraid to fight for my state or for people in my country.
At the core of these attacks is the same old sinister agenda that has empowered the anti-abortion movement for decades, maintaining white patriarchal power no matter the cost. And those of us marginalized at every turn by our systems and institutions, communities of color, immigrant communities like mine, members of the LGBTQI plus community, and people with disabilities are bearing the brunt of the attacks.
There's a notion in young circles or in communities of color that our voices are not represented, or they don't matter, or there's no point in us getting involved because we just don't have a place. And that's not true. There are a lot of incredible activists and organizers and political figures who have done a lot of amazing things in this country's history, and Minnie is one of those people.